This is a John Deere 544J rubber tire loader. It's made by Ertl and it's in 1/16 scale. Now this is number 2 in their precision construction series, and I think it's generally an underrated model. At the time it came out, it was a little bit expensive, so they weren't terribly popular. There was probably a good, I don't know, 2 or 3 years where you could find these where maybe dealers had bought them and they couldn't sell them, so you could find them on eBay for, you know, between $75 and $100, which was, it was a good deal. Still expensive for the model, but when you compare it to today, it was a steal. I mean, I'd buy this thing for $100 all day, every day. It's worth every penny. And like I said, it's generally underrated, and I think it's underappreciated because it's got a lot of detail and features just coming out the wazoo. This is one of those models where every time you look at it, you're probably going to catch something a little bit different, just detail-wise, and that's really cool. That's always the best kind of model to have on your shelf, is something that, you know, you can see a couple years later and just spot something new that you hadn't noticed before, and that's really cool. I guess right off the bat, the paint is excellent. The decals are all very good. Like the brackets and the grease points and all that are there. That's really cool. The hydraulic cylinders and the lines and everything, they're all very well done. Somebody had pointed out on another precision video that Ertl still uses these big silver, these goofy silver rivets, and that is true. It does take away from the model a little bit, but I think if you really wanted to, you could get some John Deere paint and paint those over, you know, paint the tip right there, and that would generally do a pretty good job hiding it. But overall though, it's really, I don't think it takes away too much. Now this thing is heavy. It weighs a metric ton, but it's really good quality. You can see the articulation joint down there. They got the drive shaft, the hydraulic lines, the cylinders. They even have the fill for the transmission right there. And you have all your warning labels and information labels there. You have your locking strut for the articulation, and you also have the locking brace for the loader, so you can pin the loader arms up in the air, and that's pretty darn neat. If you look in the cab here, the cab door does open up, and you can get a pretty good look inside the cab. I mean, it looks fantastic in there. It's really well done. The little panel opens up right there. I don't know if that's for like a cab filter or whatever. I'm not really sure. I've never run a 544 before, although I can say that everyone that I've talked to that has will tell you that they're pretty happy with them. They're fantastic loaders. Now the engine panels, this is where it gets really cool, because that opens up and that flips down there, so you can get into the motor on the side right there, which is nice. You come over here, and there's your fuel tank. That's a nice little surprise. But even beyond that, you come back here, and it just keeps going. You just get more and more and more panels that you can open up. The radiator swings open. You lift up right there. And it's just more and more and more. And that is just really cool. It's such a great model. Ertl did such a good job with these. It really is a shame that they are not still making these precision construction models, because they are just awesome. They really are. I think that these days, here's a little, I think that's kind of like a toolbox, little storage area that opens up right there. Not really sure what that is. Master switch and battery box. Okay. These things have gotten expensive. I've seen them sell for anywhere between $150 and $400. So they can be pricey today, but I think they are still worth it. The window opens up. How cool is that? It's even got the grab rails and all that good stuff. It's really just such a good model. Now, the only real drawback is the range of motion is I don't think it's terribly good. You have some nice stiff cylinders, which is cool, but that's about as much as it'll raise up. I don't really want to force it. It will dump pretty well, and it does roll back very well, but coming back down, oh my goodness, it just won't quite come down all the way. I mean, it gets real close, but it's not quite there. And rolling back when it's all the way down, that's as far as it'll go. So it's a little bit limited in the range of motion, and that's a little bit disappointing. But when you compare it to everything else about the loader, I think that's a pretty fair trade-off, because the thing is just fantastic. I wonder if I can get underneath it here. I don't want to drop it. So you get a pretty good view underneath. You can see the transmission and the differentials and all that, and that's really cool that they did that. You can see the hydraulic lines running underneath. Really, it's cool that that's all in there. It's just there's nothing left out. And again, that's one of the great things about these Ertl precision models. They do such a good job with the little details. They really don't leave anything out. The farm tractors are still going strong. They're making them, you know, night and day, new models left and right. But the construction line's been pretty well abandoned. I haven't heard of them doing anything remotely close to construction in any time in the near future, which is disappointing. But you know, I guess you just always hope for the best. Anyway, that's about it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask. If you'd like to see more of what we have, please subscribe to Maryland Construction Diecast. And thanks for watching.